Hello everyone, welcome to a little update on Ratchet repairs. As you might have noticed, I've been absent for a little while. That's basically because life got in the way and I've been doing a lot, and I mean a lot of customizing and building heads for that guy over there, for Optimus Prime. A lot of people wanted them, so I actually sold a lot of them. So I had to make those and paint those and prepare them.
Oh no! Anyway.
So I've been absent for, I think it's almost half a year. But this is a good time as any to come back to Transformers, because this little guy arrived. Well, little, he is a good size. It's the MPM Oversized. A lot of people think it's Black Apple. Well, it's based on Black Apple's design. When everything was collapsing with the Weixiong factories, they had the 3D files on file because they printed the prototypes. They still had the files over at one of the printers. Those are the files that actually delivered this guy right here. It's the Black Apple design. It's not the final one he had. It was like the second or third iteration of it. But that said, it's a really nice guy. I like the robot mode and I like the vehicle mode. He looks really good with the other guys, which I shall demonstrate a little bit later in the video. But yeah, I like him. He is fiddly though. He is fiddly beyond reason. To get him in robot mode or in vehicle mode, you have to do all steps exactly. It has to be exactly. If not, then body lines won't line up or panels won't close properly. It's a little bit of a mess. But that said, just like some of the other guys we have, I prefer to have a decent robot mode and a decent alt mode, and everything in between can take as much time as they need, because if the product is good in the end, then am I going to say no about it? So yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to show you not this guy. I'm going to put him in the back a little bit, because there are a lot of people out there showing the exact transformation of him, and I'm not gonna do that because I've got two of these. And here he is in vehicle mode, all tapped together as it should. As you can see, it really is a nice looking Ironhide. I am not that big of a fan of everything hanging underneath the car. I would have preferred if they didn't have the weapons in there like they did with Prime, but have them separate so you can have more accurate alt mode. But that's me being a nitpicky son of a b****. That said, the weapons are stored in here, all of them. The guns from the Dark of the Moon series will fall into the stepping bars on the car. And one of the guns is here and the other one is in here. But a lot of people wanted to know how the scale is. Well, it is dang on perfect, I can tell you, with the other cars. Don't forget that the top kick actually was like, this part is a GMC Savannah, which is like the fan, the Chevy fan. And the chassis is a medium-sized truck. It is a medium-sized truck for American standards, which is European or Asian for big motherfucker. The back is from a Chevy Silverado dually, because basically that's the only thing that could fit the axles. But yeah, the scale is spot on. It's slightly shorter than the BMB one, and slightly lower than the BMB one, and slightly narrower, which all is actually good. And I like the way the panel lines close up. It looks so much better. Same goes for the back. You can see it's just like a little bit shorter. And he is actually the only one that's actually properly in scale for the 128 scale. For some people, here's he with the old leader, which actually was the only one that's in the proper scale. And as you can see, he is just about the same. With this one being actually a little bit narrower and therefore more accurate. But he's good enough. So yeah, I like him. I would highly recommend getting him. But then, as you might know, I like to customize my vehicles. And this one is not going to escape from me. and my airbrush gun. So here we have the gang together in vehicle mode. Still the Bumblebee that's going to get some paint and some stuff as well. Same with the Ratchet. This is painted just by me, but I think I'm going to shade it a little bit darker. But let's focus on the main guy here, which is Ironhide. And as you can see, the truck, which is the Blue Circus XP14 Optimus Prime, which I painted a couple of years ago. And the Ironhide, which are the same height, which they should be. He should be just a little bit narrower, especially in the front bit. It should be more rounded to the front. But yeah, I think it's the best we're ever going to get from the guy. Unless they do the Studio Series with some improvements, but I think that's a pipe dream. And then the Ratchet. This is the oversized one, which I'm still working on. As you can see, it's not the one with the head mount, which I showed earlier. And the new head and lots of details. It's going to get some paint soon. But the skill actually is quite nice together. He needs some work as well, but he works. And for people asking around if the NPM version works, I'll show you. The answer is a no, he doesn't work. This one works much better, especially with the NPM skill. And if you're really picky and say, well, this is too big, it is slightly kinda, but the only one we can get in the proper size is the old Voyager, which actually it's outdated. It's nowhere near as good as anything we've got, and I'm not even going to bother trying to customize this to look like this. Maybe someday some company will do the Studio Series version with some improvements, which I suggested to a couple of factories, but no responses this far, so I'm still hoping we might get some good news. And yeah, it just looks so good to have the guys finally in one scale as one team. And here they are, the group as they were in the first movie and Ironhide, sorry, that's Sideswipe. Because a lot of people asked how he looks compared to Ironhide. I'm having some issues with names lately, I'm sorry about that. But yeah, as you can see, he works really well, especially if you just put Bumblebee there. And if you compare them, this actually looks really well. This looks really well. And even a lot of people say that Ratchet might be a little too tall, and to be fair, he is. That said, this is my custom Ratchet with my custom made head, and he is just about the same height. It's just Ironhide is just a little bit taller, but barely. And in the background you have the big guy himself, Optimus Prime, getting ready for his new paint job. But yeah, so the group put together, in my opinion, works really well. So coming back to custom paints and stuff, in robot mode he has the same issues as in the bot mode. This should be flat black. The gold should be a little bit better, and he needs a lot better paints everywhere. I'm going to redo the entire robot mode because the arms are just mostly black plastic, and there's so much detail that is begging for some pop of color and willing to come out. I'm going to do the head as well. He still has the mouth that opens and closes. And the scale isn't that bad. A lot of people say that the head was not good enough, but I have to disagree with them. The head is good enough, it just needs a lot of paint. And I get something to point to the camera with. Of course I can use Demon's Blade. This here should be gold, and he should be having the gunmetal robot color, not the splashy silver. The splashy silver should be on some parts, not all of them. This should have more copper, gold and other colors in there. Same with the arms. There's some red and yellow wires going here, and there should be some shiny metal and gun robot color in there to make him look the way he should. I like the way they did this, by the way. The roof comes open and actually shapes up to be the way Ironhide's arms were in the movie. And I need to paint the hands as well. and I want to do a lot of battle damage on the robot bits. And yeah, basically just paint him all over to make him look as awesome, because this mold, I can tell you, once I'm done with it, it's going to pop. It's going to look amazeballs. And it looks good now, but just wait till I do the preview and show you what I can do with some paint based on this guy. So yeah, here you can actually see my next project is going to be Ironhide as a repaint, but I thought I should bring this video out because a lot of people ask me, how do I like him, how do the robot modes compare, and what's my personal opinion of him. So for those people, here's your movie, and for those other people, thank you for sticking around with me, waiting for me to upload a new video. It's much appreciated, and I would really like if you just spread the word, give me some more followers. That way I can do more of these videos, stop the messing about with other stuff, and get right to making this a proper YouTube channel. Okay, thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and hope to see you in the next videos.